We wake up in a world of urgency. From the moment our eyes open, we are pulled by screens, by tasks, by thoughts. Messages wait, notifications blink, the mind spins. We live in a world that rewards speed, but our souls move slow. There is a quiet, ancient tradition that offers something different. It doesn't shout, it doesn't advertise, it doesn't promise overnight change. It simply invites Zen. Not a religion, not a technique, but a way of seeing, a way of living, a way of returning to what is real, what is simple, what is already within you. In this journey, we'll explore the path of Zen, its roots, its teachings, its paradoxes. We'll walk through the forests of silence, sit with the breath, and sweep the dust from the mirror of the mind. This is not a guide to master Zen, it's an invitation to let Zen live through you. Let us begin not by adding more, but by beginning to let go. Zen evolved from the teachings of Mahayana Buddhism, but unlike other branches, it didn't emphasize scripture or doctrine. Instead, it emphasized direct experience. A student asked the Zen master, "What is the essence of Zen?" The master replied, "We eat when you're hungry, sleep when you're tired." It sounds simple, almost disappointing, but Zen is always simple until it isn't. That's its brilliance, that's its invitation. The modern mind is overfed and undernourished. Too much input, not enough silence. Too much knowing, not enough being. Zen flips this. It doesn't ask you to know more. It asks you to know less, to unlearn, to sit, to breathe, to sweep the floor, to do it with such complete attention that the doing disappears, and only being remains. This is the path to clarity, not the clarity of concepts, but the clarity of experience. The clarity of seeing a leaf fall and realizing nothing more needs to be said. That is enough. One of the central practices in Zen is Zazen, sitting meditation, no mantra, no visualization, just sitting, back straight, eyes open or slightly lowered, hands in a cosmic mudra, breath soft and natural. Thoughts come, you let them come. Thoughts go, you let them go. You return, not to a thought, but to the breath, to the body, to now. Over time, something subtle begins to happen. The waves of thought slow. The chatter becomes background, and you realize underneath it all, there is silence. Not empty silence, but alive silence, spacious, free. And that silence was always there. You just never listened long enough to hear it. Zen stories or koans are often strange, paradoxical, or even funny. They are not meant to teach through logic. They are meant to interrupt the logical mind, to point beyond it. A monk asked, "What is the way?" The master said, "Omon, your everyday mind is the way. Should I direct myself toward it? If you try to direct yourself, you move away from it. How can I know the way? The way is not something you know. It is not something you don't know. Knowing is delusion. Not knowing is blankness. If you truly reach the way, you will find it as vast and boundless as outer space." This is how Zen teaches, not by handing you an answer, but by knocking the question out of your hands, until only awareness remains. Zen isn't about improving the self. It's about realizing there is no fixed self to improve. You are not the same person who woke up this morning, not the same person who began this video. Zen says, stop trying to hold it all together. Let the self dissolve. Let the moment live. You are not separate from the breath. You are the breath. You are the sound. You are the tree. Every act becomes Zen if you bring your full presence to it. Drinking tea becomes sacred. Walking becomes prayer. Chopping vegetables becomes insight. Not because the activity changed, but because you showed up for it. Try this. Today, do one small task with absolute attention. No phone, no rush, no thought of the next thing, just full awareness. And feel how rich it becomes. This is the art of mindfulness in motion. This is Zen in daily life. A student asked the master, "What is enlightenment?" The master said, "When hungry, eat. When tired, sleep." But don't we all do that? No, when you eat, you think of 100 things. When you sleep, you dream of 1,000. That is not eating. That is not sleeping. To be fully present is to live completely. Zen speaks of the beginner's mind. In Japanese, it's called shoshin. to see everything as if for the first time, to drop the filters, the assumptions, the mental chatter, to look at a flower and see it, not as a flower, but as what it truly is, without naming, without judging, just experiencing. Can you look at life like a child again? With awe, with wonder, with full presence. The Zen path is not linear. It is not a ladder, it is a circle. You return again and again to the breath, to the now, and each time it is new. Silence plays a sacred role in Zen. Not awkward silence, but full silence. The kind that holds space for truth. The kind that doesn't need to speak to be understood. Zen masters often answer questions with silence, or with a gesture, or a laugh, because sometimes words are too loud to carry what is true. You don't have to explain your insight, you only have to live it. Zen teaches that everything is impermanent. The cherry blossom blooms and fades, the wave rises and crashes, the breath comes and goes, and so does every thought, every mood, every person, every moment. So why cling? Let go. Let it pass. Let it be beautiful in its passing. This is not detachment. This is freedom. You hold nothing, not because you don't care, but because you trust. You trust that what is meant to stay will stay, and what is meant to go must go. Zen also values paradox. To gain, you must lose. To understand, you must unlearn. To arrive, you must stop moving. These are not riddles to solve. They are reminders that truth is not always logical. It is deeper than logic. That's why Zen practice isn't about discussion. It's about discipline, sitting, walking, breathing, over and over until the mind becomes clear like polished glass, until the self drops away like a coat no longer needed, until the world is just what it is, and that is enough. Zen often uses the metaphor of a mirror. Your mind is like a mirror. It doesn't hold on to images. It reflects them and lets them go. Over time, dust settles, noise builds, reflections become distorted. Zen practice is not about adding clarity. It's about wiping the mirror clean. Each moment of stillness, each breath, clears the surface, until one day you see clearly again. Not just the world, but yourself. Not the self made of stories, but the self that simply is. Let's return to the breath. In Zen, the breath is not a technique. It is the end. No breath, no you. Sit. Feel the breath arrive. Feel it leave. Everything else can wait. Zen teaches there is no goal. Stop chasing. Start sitting. Sit to fully arrive. Here. This body, this breath, this moment. A monk asked a master, "What should I do?" The master said, "Have you eaten?" "Yes." "Then wash your bowl." That's Zen, no drama, just life. Zen doesn't change the world. It changes how you meet it. And in doing so, it changes everything. Sit, breathe, let the wind move the leaves, and smile. You are already home. Thank you for spending this time with Iron Mind Journal. If this message softened your mind, calmed your heart, or reminded you of what matters, subscribe. Until next time, sit simply, breathe gently, and live fully.